In the wake of an alleged announcement by the Housing Minister, Colin Crowell, on Thursday that lands for housing development were unavailable, as well as proper infrastructure to access those lands, and therefore persons who benefited from a reduction in cost would be reimbursed their monies and their names returned to the system for processing, the Housing Ministry has issued a statement to members of the media clarifying the issue. In the statement, the ministry sought to assure persons that the status of their applications will in no way be affected and they will be processed in due time. The statement further dictated that the Ministry of Housing and Water has commenced a review exercise for questionable allocations made, following complaints by allottees that they feel duped out of their hard-earned monies for lands they are still to identify. One resident who spoke with the media expressed her concern, citing that she had applied for land since 2005 and until now has not been contacted.
One of my concerns is that 2005, I made an application and never was being given a house lot. I know persons from Trinidad, the Chinese and all over come in our very country, Guyana, our dear land Guyana that our parents fought for freedom, and they benefited land.
The ministry's statement alluded to the previous allocations as a seemingly political gimmick. Meanwhile, the main political opposition, APNU AFC, in a statement on Thursday, called on the PPP government to cease and desist from their continued assault on the working people of Guyana. The statement continued. The persons targeted by the PPP applied for and were granted lands from the state. This was a legal process and that must be honored. The APNU AFC coalition further noted in its release that there was an approval by Cabinet under the previous administration for lands to be transferred from the National Industrial and Commercial Investments Limited, NISIL, to the Central Housing and Planning Authority, CHNPA, and that the process was in its final stage. The lands to be transferred were allocated for housing development. APNU AFC further stated that the monies collected by the CHNPA, which the Housing Ministry now wants to refund, were budgeted for land development. The Housing Ministry, via its statement, iterated that it nonetheless remains committed to the delivery of serviced lots, with all basic infrastructures in place, including fair weather access road, water distribution network, electrical network, as well as drainage network. Wendell Badrie for the HGP Nightly.